It's me. Mr H is going to open proceedings. Mr H, over to you.
Well, what I'd like to talk to you about and get your ideas on, Mr O, is this referendum we've been promised on the European Union. You know, whether to do we stay or do we go, as the old song goes. And first of all, what's your thoughts on it?
Basically, my thoughts is we all know the world, the people in power, supposedly in power, are just basically spokespeople for a bigger concern. Right? It's in the best interests of the bigger concern for Europe, the dismantling of trade borders, the dismantling of sovereignty, to create a big massive state, basically.
Right,
the opinions of the people don't come into it. It's what's best for them rather than us, you know. That's my thoughts, Mr H.
Well, as you know, we've been promised this in or out. Now, I would say, and I'm not going to try and sway viewers, it's up to them, everybody will have their own thing. It should be as simple, if we're out of it, we're out of it.
Yeah.
Now, that means, you know, we leave it, we sever ties. No doubt we'll get rapped on knuckles for leaving by our former European partners, as is spiteful, vindictive nature of human beings. But if we do vote yes to stay in it, then we should go in it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
It should be we adopt the euro, we basically become what Germany and France have. Now, before everybody groans over that, if Britain leaves, it's free to join this, what is it,
Pacific Partnership. No, that the Britain one is a TTIP, the Trans Trade International Partnership, is it?
Yeah, I believe it is. At the end of the day, be careful what you wish for. It's that old saying, because if we do leave it, we will no longer be bound by Europeans' way of thinking.
But the TTIP and the TTP, basically all they exist for is to kind of give corporations the ability to ride roughshod over governmental legislations and laws.
Yes.
So if Monsanto want to fucking put GMO seeds all over England, and the government says no, you can't do that.
We're doing it anyway.
They can sue the government, saying, well, you're causing us loss of trade. You know what I mean? If they have, if Monsanto have business practices that involve the fucking employees working with dangerous chemicals, and the government says, well, you can't really do that, it's malpractice, Monsanto can sue the government.
Just out of interest, where would Monsanto take our government? So for argument's sake, it decides, oh, you've gone against us, we're going to take the UK government to court. Which court does it get dealt in?
To be truthful with you, I only know the basic skeleton of it, but I do know the mechanics of it. Is the TTP and TTIP, they exist to kind of give corporations the power to override states.
And what happens if a
countries.
state says, well, fuck you, we're not doing it? We're actually going to say fuck you and stand up to you.
I don't actually know. I only know the basics.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's like we always say it about Europe, don't we? Well, what happens if we turn around and say fuck you?
But I suppose if you've signed into this thing, you know what I mean. There's obviously going to be ramifications. If I don't sign something and you say to me do something and I say fuck you, I walk off. But if I've signed my name on a piece of paper, it's a different matter.
Well, you're talking about just having an interesting thing here. You're talking about I could take you to court. Now, how can you take the UK government to court in its own courts?
Yeah.
Ultimately, all America or whoever's over this Monsanto can say is we will go to
there
war
will,
with you over
there
this.
will be one. There will be one court, I should imagine, residing all over this TTIP. It's probably obviously it'll be Europe and America.
But we're going to summon Britain to this court. We're not coming.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Take the whole nation and drag us all, each and every man, woman, and child? To
yeah.
It's a very hard one.
I know. I think it's not as simple as that. Like I said, I haven't had. Like I said, these videos. We aren't fucking We aren't economists. We aren't experts. We're just two fellas round a fire. You know, there's going to be holes in what we say. You know, we only have an idea. The best thing to do is go away, Google it, and research, and then come back and say you two fucking knobheads who talk a pile of shit, or you know you have an idea, or you have a point about something. You know, as regards Europe, the Europe for my money is a bad idea. Ted Heath took us there in the early 70s, and his directive given from Europe was to dismantle British industry, to dismantle the steelworks, to dismantle the coal mining industry. Each country in Europe is designated a role what they want Europe to have. England was the financial sector, which is London, the city of London, basically. That's all they really wanted the UK to kind of do, just be a financial centre. They didn't want our industry, things like that, you know.
Yeah.
So but Europe is a bad idea. It's a dismantling of sovereignty. That's why all these foreign nationals have come to our country now. You know, they've been allowed. There's a reason for that, and that is to dismantle. That's so the culture of England and every other country, not just England, will become somewhat so diluted that eventually, you know, there will be no nationality.
Well, this is it. This is what people need to think when they're voting for it. If you vote to stay in, you can't vote for this thing of where we're wishy-washy and we sit on you know, fence. You can't have this 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If you vote for it, you can no longer look at a Romanian and say, these Romanian immigrants shouldn't be in. They're as equal as you. You're no longer British, you're European. So if you vote for it, just be careful what you're voting for.
And the thing is as well, the euro is a fucking a very unstable currency, and it's a Trojan horse, basically, to lead to what we talked about before, a cashless society, where, you know, the Greece has just fucking crashed now, and they'll say like, oh, well, you know, the euro isn't working. What are we going to do, everybody?
Greece is in a position now where it gets a bailout by the rest of European partners, and they then dictate to Greece what they can and can't do. If they moved out of the European
that money
Union,
is stolen off the bailout money is stolen off fucking taxpayers anyway. You know what I mean?
It is, but if they was to turn round to them and say, right, we'll leave. Greece said we'll leave, which is a big bold thing, and they return back to, I forgot what their currency is, but whatever they return back to, they can then control their own currency. They've not got that. They're being dictated to by the rest. It's, we'll hand you this money, but you do as we say.
Exactly.
And they've gone for it again.
Yeah, but the thing is now, they'll go in their country and take all their natural resources. Exactly. You know what I mean? They'll rape the fucking country, basically. You know, for being bailed out. When the bankers have basically caused the fucking Greece to fall to its fucking knees in the first place.
The fear is, I think it came in 1972. The EEC as it was then. And no, people can't imagine Britain surviving without it.
Yeah.
But it did. It survived. We had the Commonwealth. We traded.
Yeah.
Granted, if we pull out of it, the government then got to play their part, and they've got to reinvest in British people and British industry.
I mean, is it £55 million a day it costs us to stay in Europe? I think.
I wouldn't like
you could be right. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's between 35 and £55 million a day. It actually costs us to stay in Europe. You know, in times of austerity, when there's no pot to piss in, they're making benefit cuts of 12 billion, and they're looking to make further fucking benefit cuts.
The country actually voted on this, you know, I think in 1975 and 1976. It was under Harold Wilson's government.
I mean, under Ted Heath, the fucking child murdering fucking Satanist, you know what I mean? Basically, he signed away England in the fucking early 70s, 72, 73.
Well, they actually put a vote to people in 70s, should we come out of it? And at the time, I mean, my father told me that you couldn't find anyone that was saying, yeah, let's stay in it.
Yeah.
And it came back as, yeah, we'll stay in, and the reason given was it'll cost too much to pull out of it. Well, I don't know about you, Jimmy, but if I was a member of a club, whatever it be, a fucking judo club or a film club, you just stop paying your dues. And eventually they turn around and say, right, you're no longer a member.
It's true, isn't it?
And that's how it should be.
But it's I think now referendums mean fuck all, right, because the people who run the world, and it isn't presidents and prime ministers and whatnot, that's what they want, and you vote. Your vote is not worth a fucking jut, basically.
No.
Your vote isn't worth a jut, and really there needs to be some serious re-evaluation of how things are done, even in a real democracy. You know, a real democracy where the people, the government answers to the people, not the fucking other way around, like, you know what I mean?
As it should be.
But, you know, there needs to be some fundamental fucking changes.
Any government that is voted in this country is only they're a caretaker for the best interests of the people for 5 years.
Yeah.
And that is then decided when we come round to election time, and if you've done a shit job, you're sacked. That's how British democracy works.
But now it seems like they can stay, you know what I mean? They rig the votes.
Well, you can, and you'll always get that, Jimmy, because if you've got a set of wankers running against you, you're laughing out way to the bank. Yeah, you put another pillock in which we'll be making a video about soon, the Labour Party, won't we?
Yes. Right, we'll leave it there now, 9 minutes. Go and get a cup of tea or something, and or a joint. Or
a digestive.
Yes, make sure it's got chocolate on because it's Friday. Thanks.